You like hamburgers? I ask. We're on the way to Charlie's, and Ricky has been quiet. He seems uncomfortable with me, and I'm certainly uncomfortable with him, so I come up with the only question I can think of. They're okay, he says, without enthusiasm. Charlie's has the best hamburgers. They're okay, he repeats. I think he's still talking about hamburgers in general and not those at Charlie's. I'm afraid if I ask him to confirm that, the conversation could get bogged down. What do you like? Fried chicken? Good, because their fried chicken is even better than their hamburgers. It's not greasy, you know? I guess. That's pretty much the extent of the conversation. I'm careful about what to say because I'm afraid he'll start asking me questions about his father. I cannot imagine what this kid has gone through or how he can manage to cope with it. Laurie calls me on the cell. Just before she left the house, Pete called to talk to me, and she told him I was on the way to Charlie's. He said he'd meet me down there. Then, how's it going with you and Ricky? Good. He likes fried chicken. Grease doesn't seem to be much of a factor. Hamburgers are okay. When I get to Charlie's, Vince Sanders is already sitting at our regular table. Vince is a friend, but not exactly a ray of sunshine. Exposing Ricky to him could legitimately be called child abuse. Vince stares at us as we walk to the table, his mouth open in shock. Vince, this is Ricky Diaz, I say with an emphasis on Diaz. Vince is editor of the local paper, and the murder of Ricky's father was on the front page, so he should be able to put two and two together. Ricky, say hello to Vince Sanders. Hello, Ricky says. Hey, kid, you want something to drink? Sure, what is there? You got a fake ID? Vince, I say. I just figured maybe a light beer, Vince explains. Pete comes into the restaurant and walks toward the table. He looks stressed about something, but makes an effort to brighten up when he sees Ricky there. Hey, Rick, how's it going? These guys treating you okay? Ricky nods happily when he sees Pete, offering up a smile that had so far been reserved for Laurie. I guess Vince and I don't bring out the best in kids. Pete leans over and whispers to me, You and I need to talk. You got that right. I'm not sure when we're going to have that talk, since we clearly can't do so in front of Ricky. So instead, we just watch some sports and order hamburgers. Ricky orders a chocolate milk, which causes Vince to cringe and ask, What is that? Milk, like with chocolate in it? The door opens and two men come in, both of whom look familiar to me. Pete sees them as well, and he seems to tense up as they head toward our table. He stands up and says to me, Come on. Come on where? Follow me. Vince, hang out with Ricky for a few minutes. I get up as well, and we take 3 steps toward the door when the two men reach us. By now I recognize them as two of Pete's colleagues on the force. Hey, Pete, one of them says. We need to talk with you. So talk. Let's do it outside. Pete nods and starts to follow them. I'm sort of frozen in place, which is generally my default position in life. Come on, Pete says to me. What's going on? You need to be there, he says, clearing up absolutely nothing in the process. I follow them outside, and there are 3 uniformed patrolmen waiting for us. One of the detectives who had entered the restaurant starts reciting the Miranda warning, signifying an arrest, but there doesn't seem to be anyone there to arrest. Then I realize that they are talking to Pete, and he doesn't seem at all surprised by it. What the hell is going on? I ask, but for the moment no one answers me. I'm sorry, Pete, but we need to cuff you. Pete nods his assent to this and puts his hands behind his back to facilitate them doing so. What are you charging him with? I ask. What is your role in this? The detective asks me. He's my attorney, Pete says. So what is the charge? I repeat. Pete Stanton has been charged with the murder of Danny Diaz.